Do I look like Miley Cyrus in black wig? Do I? Hi guys, my name is Nitish Anand, aka Shabnam Bewafa. I'm India's youngest performing drag queen. I'm a corporate mazdoor by day. Yes, I do have a regular life, but we'll get there soon. But I'm a drag queen by night. And today I'm going to tell you some of the most amazing facts and things and stories about an Indian drag queen. So get excited. So drag is an art form wherein a guy or a girl that dresses up in the opposite gender to entertain people on stage. But for me personally, I think drag is an art form where it gives me a channel to celebrate all my underdog at once. Drag taught me an expression of being an artist and how openly we can talk about it. I not only wanted to perform always, but I always wanted to have more and more open conversations around it. Expression of one's freedom or expressions of one celebrating their underdogs, expressions of how a person would see themselves if they're different and how they can accept it. Honestly, if I'll say that drag has come a long way in a country like India, it is one of the most oldest art forms in India. Back then when the women were not allowed to step out of their houses, men were the one, who used to come out and perform as women. In so many small villages or towns or maybe cities even. And I think even in the Bollywood, I've seen so many actors are going ahead and they're performing the female parts. Drag is the only art form that has no rules. Regardless of you're straight, gay, bi, lesbian, pink, blue, purple, animal, human. If you just want to do drag, just do drag.
Drag is evolved, like it's not just feminine impersonation, women impersonation. It's like abstract art now. It's in its like own field with like its subfield and specialities. So you can't really lay down some rules or regulations. So if you want it small, if you want it timid and petite, you can do whatever you want to, as long as you're feeling the fantasy. And make sure you have like 3 of your drag sisters who feel the fantasy with you, then nobody can stop you.
Hi, my name is Lash Monsoon, also known as Ayushman, and I'm a drag performer and lawyer by the day and drag queen by the night. The transformation is more about shedding your layers. Like, as we live in society, we are told so many things of what to do, what not to do. And so when you take those 3 hours to get into your drag persona and you start putting on your makeup, gradually you shed your inhibitions. You become more of who you are, and you are able to release to to your mental state when you transform. It allows you to be uninhibited.
Are you excited? Wow. Oh my gosh. I want to just make a space for the performers out there. Please come down.
The whole concept of drag is being liberal. It's just expressing yourself and your underdogs. So I think that when people from alternative sexualities within our own community see it, maybe they love the idea. They see themselves on stage, that they can also just be out and proud about themselves. Or they can just celebrate the underdogs or the feelings or the screams they might be hiding in their hearts. And I think the whole atmosphere when you meet the people from your own community, the whole ambience becomes so accepting. The whole ambience, you feel like you belong there, and then you're celebrating it on stage. So I think that is the idea that brings smile or joy or excites people the most. Or maybe the younger drag queens, like the drag princesses, maybe they want to do it someday. They get inspired. They finally see, after such a traumatic life or their own battles, they see that there are people like us exist and they're celebrating themselves. So why not be a part of the celebration?
Hey, my name is Paps. I'm often asked like why don't I put a show, like a drag show? So it's only because I think it's not been taken seriously in this platform because I don't want to be laughed and mocked at in front of like 1,000 people, and that's not the thing I wanted. That's why I want to like write, that's why I've written, that's why I've talked, so that people know. I mean, it is a serious thing. It's not funny.
Last 1 year, I was trying to, push away this side of mine. And I think this is the only expression that I can give myself to feel loved, to pamper myself with all this makeup and to just become something that I always wanted to be. Every time I become Shabnam, I still feel it's so new for me, regardless of the time I do. There was a phase recently, when I was so impulsive about love. I was really choked up about love, so I was getting choked on alcohol. And I think something inside of me told me it's not right. So I started taking myself out. I learned how to say no to certain things or to certain people. That also helped me with my confidence. I started to realize about my own skills apart from doing drag, that I should do something in communications. Right? I think I always wanted to be a teacher, so I stepped into a job like that with some hard work, after some time I might be a teacher again, which I wanted to be forever apart from doing drag. So I think that's my understanding of self-love. Gifting myself things, doing those efforts for myself that I used to do for people, and just being okay with my own company, because most of the time I was with boys to avoid my own self, and gradually I think I realized that I have to face it. Regardless of anything, because you cannot justify or you cannot explain a trauma or any feelings. Like you can never explain it, because that's how we call them feelings. We have to feel them, we have to feel through them. If we'll keep running away from them, I think it's going to create a lot of blockages within our own heart for our self-love. So I think that's my step to love my existence.
I think my family was kind of prepared that I'm going to be in show business. Maybe not this kind of show business, in the nightclubs, which I love. My parents have been okay with it. Like my mom is okay with it, my sister is okay with it. So it's pretty cool for me. And I'm 100% sure it's not the same case for a lot of people. A lot of drag queens are not even out to their parents about their sexuality in the first place. Forget about doing drag. In that way, I've been really fortunate to have a supporting family, and as long as I'm happy and I'm taking care of myself, they're okay.
For quite some time, they didn't even know that I am that drag queen they were seeing on magazines or they were seeing on TV. When I was supposed to come out as a gay guy, I first researched about it. I made my parents read about it, my family members read about it, then I saw their reaction. Alright, and I thought that if they're going to be okay with it, then I'm going to come out. If not, I'm going to live a lie. So honestly, I think me educating them about it made it very, very easy for me. And as I say, that being a gay guy and then coming out, and being a drag queen and coming out feels like coming out of the closet twice.
My parents were the coolest people on this earth. I mean, they're like 1950s products. They didn't go to any mind-broadening school. They just accepted it because they love me.
When I was 5 years old, I lost my mother. I was really young, and it was just a very dark moment in my life. I think I always knew that I was attracted to men. How the media portrayed the whole gay culture or the whole queer culture to me was making me feel a little uncomfortable to accept my own identity. However, with time, I think I gradually realized that instead of waiting for others to accept me, I should accept my own self. So when I was young and full of passion, I still am, but when I was like a teenager, 17 years old, me and my lover, we used to come here and we just used to chill with the nature. So we personally wanted our love to be something like that because, after everything, all the sadness, traumas, fighting with the world and stuff, our love would be historical. But he took it in the other way, he became my past. I find it really hard. There have been instances where I've been dating guys, like I've been on dates with them, 4, 5, 6 dates with them. We've been seeing each other for 3, 4 weeks, and I finally feel comfortable to tell them that I'm also a drag queen. They just abandon me. They just go because they get to know that I'm a drag queen.
Bollywood has a very different reflection towards drag roles and the culture because I find it extremely funny and it's not actually taken very seriously. So that's why I'm here to talk about it.
Unfortunately, I think our industry would rely on LGBT characters for a comic relief in the scene or in the movie, with like a stereotypical body language and like clumsy makeup sometimes, and purposefully shabby person to just to portray them that way. I was teased with some of the specific tunes associated to a LGBT character in a certain Bollywood movie. Pyar kiya to darna kya? There is a gay character in that, and every time you see them on screen, there's like a weird musical tone playing. It's like an instrumental tone. Yeah, I mean, it used to trigger me a lot for a very long time because I was bullied using that by my cousins and my friends who I thought were my friends.
Like, regardless of the judgment, we were still valid to our own existence. But now the government, the country is out and proud in support. Now we will have something in our hands to, fight for. Something in our plates to be served to the people if they'll question our identity or our existence. So the whole experience was amazing. I think, there are still a few things which needs to be changed. I'll tell you a really funny incident. I think last week, I was at a friend's place and I just booked a cab to go back home. And I just asked my friend very casually to drop me down. I normally wear a nail paint or just a little bit of makeup just to express myself. And I was waiting for him for my cab right outside of his house, and 2 cops stopped us. And they didn't even speak to me. They spoke to my friend, and the only question they had was, "Isko kahan se laya?" And I was like, dude, what do you mean isko kahan se laya? So I think even if the Section 377 is decriminalized, we are still looked down upon.
The drag scene in India is actually really booming. I mean, there are a lot of drag queens coming up. Of course, thanks to RuPaul's Drag Race for mainstreaming it and reaching it to a lot of audience. And I would say partly my inspiration for doing drag was also RuPaul's Drag Race. And yeah, why not? Like, if we have a similar kind of series or a show in India, call me to judge it.
Personally, nothing against the show, but I think that the way it is portrayed to the pop culture is not how actually the drag queens are in their real lives. I mean, I'm not that extra, I'm not that bitchy, I'm not that gossipy. However, I have read the life journey of RuPaul, and that is like amazing, the struggle that person has been to and the way he has created a revolution.
Let people live their life in their own choices, in the way that they want to, and do not take that extra step to spread the hate.
If the other person loves you or the people around you loves you, they'll be with you. If not, as I said, you can always cut them in a ticket straight to hell, because our heels and our diva-ness is too expensive than their mentality.
Keep on dragging. The world will adjust.